Alright, well, hello everyone, my name is Matt Warkowski and welcome back to, how to make a Five Nights at Freddy's game on Clickteam Fusion 2.5. This is the, second part of this video. If you need to go back and, check out part 1, feel free to do so. If you haven't seen part 1, I highly recommend you do, because in that video we covered over pretty much the basics of the main menu. And today we're pretty much just gonna go out and finish the menu, as well as do some other stuff like the newspaper and stuff. I also just wanted to say, if my audio like echoes and stuff in this recording, I highly apologize. See, in my last episode, I checked this in the video when it was done like recording. I noticed that you can actually see the screen, and I'm not sure if you'll still be able to, but I did set my settings in OBS to do that. But again, this is kind of my first time recording with OBS. Well, I wouldn't say my first time, but you know, I think I had some issues where like my audio would like just loop over and over, which always, you know, wasn't fun. But yeah, we'll continue. So we're gonna be doing a couple things today. So first of all, the first thing I'm gonna do is we are gonna add the arrows. If you know FNaF, then you probably know that in the menu there are these little arrows that kind of show up next to the new game continue. We'll be adding those. Now, they're supposed to show up when you hover over the text, and obviously, the thing is that sometimes the arrows will not appear because the text is transparent. So to do that, we're gonna add a new object, active, and where to go? Did I ever? No, I didn't. Okay, that's weird. And place it about there. Now for this, this is gonna be the hitbox. It's actually gonna be available, so you can do this whatever you want to be. But my recommendation is to have this as a blank color. So do that. You can clear this. It'll remove the image, but not the aspect ratio, thankfully. And of course, fill the image with whatever color you want. I'll just choose red because it's simple. After that, we'll move it to about here. And then we'll kind of drag it along. Doesn't exactly matter, again, it's just a full color, so that kind of thing won't really matter in general. Alright, now that we implemented that in, well, first off, we're gonna rename this. I'll rename this to New Game Hitbox. If you want to name that as something different, obviously you can. Actually, let me check just real quick. Alright, so that's there. And one last thing before we continue is we want to uncheck visible at start, so that way it'll be invisible, but we'll still be able to interact with it. Now, basically we want to make a copy of this to the continue button. So to do that, we'll right click on the object. I know a lot of people will want to say like duplicate or just Control C, Control V, but that's not going to do it. That'll just make a replica of that object, but anything that you change with that object will also change the previous object as well. Instead, we want to click on clone object, and this honestly, I don't know, I never tampered with any of these settings before, and even so, you can literally just change whatever you want with it afterwards. So click on OK, and now we have them both here. So of course we'll change the name of this. We'll name this continue hitbox for now, and that's all we're gonna do. So we're gonna go back to this. Now we're gonna start doing, well, actually we're actually not done yet. We're gonna click on insert new object, active, select there. Again, if I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video to catch up. We're gonna go back to the FNaF 1 files I'll have around here somewhere. Yep, here we go. This will be in main menu, and I'm going to select on the arrow. Make sure it doesn't have any of the animation stuff. Click on OK. You know what to do. Transparent color, and boop, there. I don't think I'll need to change the size of this at all. I'm actually having a bit of a hard time really knowing. You can experiment with your game wherever you kind of want it to be. And actually, something that I would recommend you do is click on this, select order, and then go to the back, so that way you can actually see the text. And now that I see it, I'll put that more up there. I may need to zoom in a little bit, you know, click on zoom, do that stuff. There we go. And then of course do the same thing with the continue hitbox. Go to back, and we'll get to see the continue as well. We'll rename this to arrow, or actually we should say, would you select it please? Thank you. Arrow 01, and then we're gonna clone object again. Don't just Control C, Control V. That will not do what you want it to do. It will affect the original as well. We're gonna select this, and actually a good thing you can do is a cool thing you can do is there's a position tab. It'll allow you to select the position like kind of manually, or I don't know, stuff like that, and you do this to kind of copy down the position as well. So the X for this is 146. We'll select this, so type 146, and now they both have the exact same X position, which is always neat. And then of course we'll kind of alter that a little bit. Oh yeah, and of course Control S, save. Always do that. Always a good idea to do that. Now we can start doing the frames. Well, actually, yeah, one last thing. I know, a lot. Make sure that these are invisible as well. Make sure all that stuff is invisible upon startup. We will be making these invisible, but at the beginning, we want to make sure that we won't be able to see those. So now we're gonna click on new condition. Gonna go to the mouse pointer and keyboard, hover over the mouse, and then we're gonna click on check for mouse pointer over an object. We're pretty much just gonna check to see if the mouse is the mouse cursor over this object or anything. We're gonna click on new game hitbox. Again, don't click on the text, because again it's transparent. Sometimes it won't pick up, and it'll be like you're hovering right on the text, and sometimes it won't even appear. If mouse pointer is over new game hitbox, then we are gonna right click, hover over visibility, and click on make object to reappear. This will make the object visible again. And another neat thing you can do with Clickteam, I don't know if I showed this off in the last video, but if you click on the number on the row and then click on Control C, and then, well, you can also just kind of go wherever, but then you click on Control V, then you'll have the exact same thing, all the same exact events and stuff like that too. So this time I'm gonna go on if it goes over continue hitbox. This time another thing you can do, I think I showed this off as well, so yeah, you can just move an event over to the next column here. And now I think I also did this. A lot of cool things you can do with the editor, but if you drag that onto a new condition row, it'll just copy down, but it won't copy the event. So if you're gonna do new events, that's pretty neat. Now here's something that I haven't shown you. We're gonna click right next to the mouse pointer, you see that little thing that's actually an arrow, but of course, I'm sure most people probably wouldn't know that because it's so small. We're going to right click on that, and then we're going to click on negate. So basically it's going to check if it's not over it, and if it's not over it, we want to make it invisible, obviously. And then of course, Control C, Control V, we're going to do the exact same thing with the continue hitbox, drag that over there, and then delete. Alright, and I'm hoping that this will show up on the recording. If it doesn't, again, I am sorry, but it should look like this. Because now if we hover our mouse over this area, then we now have the ability to see the arrows, which is neat. And it actually has an outline over it, which is neat, so I'm pretty sure it is picking it up. So that's cool. That's good. So one last thing before we move on from the menu for a little bit. I'm going to zoom out. We're going to add the static effect. And we actually kinda did a little bit of a misorder kind of thing here, but I'll show you how you can fix that. This is a common thing that, especially like if you're new to Clickteam, that you might do, like kind of misorder things. We're gonna click on active, and then we're gonna go to static, obviously, which will be here. Yep. Of course, you do want to import this animation. Make sure you click on replace current animation if you're just now doing a new one. Click on OK, and of course you'll have this. And now there are some things that we want to change about this. Now you see if you click on play here, actually I don't know. Oh yeah, it will. It's still in the same tab. You notice that it stopped after only 7 frames. That's because it's not looping. So we're gonna go to direction options, and we're gonna check on loop. And then if you want to change the speed, which I'm gonna do, we're gonna change the speed, and 99. I think the max is 100. Yes, but 99 is just probably the best for now. I usually do 99. And doing that, we have this cool animation here. Now it'll loop. Okay. And then we're gonna just drag this along here. I kind of noticed this before. That's gonna be 640. This is gonna be 360. First things first, we're gonna bring this to the back. And that looks weird and funky, but we'll fix it soon. First off, we are gonna change this thing here. Now, blending coefficient, this is pretty much just the transparency. And of course, we want to change the transparency of this. So we'll change this to about 150. See how that? I think that'll work. And then as for the Freddy menu thing that it says here, the order will go ahead forward 1. I think we'll just, yeah, let's just bring this to, well, actually, no, we'll have that, yeah, we'll have that back. I don't know why I was saying bring that forward 1. That would make it appear over everything, not below it, which we want to do. So after that, let's rename this a static first, obviously. There are more effects here, but obviously I'm sure you guys kind of just want to be done with the menu. So after that, you know, yeah, it actually looks like a menu. I will have to implement these blip sound effects, like, you know, the sound effects that happen when you do the blips, but I will do that extras episode, kind of like catching up on stuff that like needs to kind of be done, I guess. However, now that we're done, we can finally do more stuff. Now, we'll be adding the newspaper first, so we're gonna click on 2 here, and then I'll make us a new frame. And this, we're gonna call this the newspaper. And again, make sure you change that background color to black. You could do, well, I mean, nah, you can't change the text exactly, but most people just do black anyways. Now, there's a little thing. If you remember last episode, I mentioned a little something called transitions, and pretty much we're about to do this here. So we're going to click on this first thing here. This is going to be the transition that happens when the frame is about to be open up, which it will be once you click on new game. We're going to click on trends. We're going to click on none, and then click on fade. You can do a different transition, obviously, if you want. And as you can see, it kind of does a... In that preview, by the way, if it says from background, that's actually transitioning, doing the fade in between frames. So that's how like the whole newspaper fade in works as it is. We're going to click on OK, and then we're going to click on the fade out and do another transition on here. This time we're going to click on color, and as you can see, it fades to black. So we'll click on that, and now we have transitions for the newspaper. And if you see me just kind of do transitions, obviously you can just do whatever you want. You don't have to do these transitions if you want to. You could have like no transitions if you really want, but it can make things just look a little neater. So it's a personal recommendation. Now, we're gonna go ahead and add a new condition here. I know I said I was on the menu, but kind of adding stuff to the menu. This is gonna be the code for going to the newspaper. So we're gonna go to mouse pointer and keyboard again, hover over mouse, and this time we're gonna go on user clicks on an object. Go to OK. Please click on object. Again, do not select the text because it will not work most of the time. You need to be on the literal text and not just in the general radius. Click on the hitboxes. I know some people are probably gonna be like, why this isn't working, it's only working sometimes. I'll be like, did you try doing it on the hitboxes, or did you do it on the text? And I know that some of them might say, I might do it on the hitbox. We didn't do it on the hitboxes, and I'd say, yeah, that's why. Well, anyways, we'll go ahead and we're gonna go to storyboard controls here. This storyboard controls function. I'm gonna right click on that and click on jump to frame. And we're pretty much we don't have anything in the newspaper, obviously, but that's not really a concern. So obviously we have that, and then we're actually gonna have a separate option for continue hitbox, and that is gonna be the night transition. So that's just it's gonna skip the newspaper. It's gonna go directly to the night transition. So we're gonna click on a new frame again, and I'll just name it night. Nope, night transition. And this one, I won't add any fades for this one either. But again, remember, from this point on, I won't really be mentioning the whole background color stuff because it would get just repetitive. We'll go back to menu, do the exact same thing. I'll actually just drop that down there. Right click, edit. I don't know if I've ever showcased that, but you can edit whatever you have currently on there if you want to change anything. And then we're going to have that just go to night transition. Okay. So now we'll finally get to go to a new event. So this is the newspaper. There's only one thing that we're going to do here, and it's add in the newspaper image. We're going to click on active, drop it down wherever, go out, we're gonna go into the, I think it's in the main menu. Yes it is. Okay, yeah, it's this one. Yeah, I don't know why they have a thing where it's in a, I don't know why they have a thing where it's in a 4:3 aspect. That's weird. But anyways, click on this. Again, I always make the mistake of not forgetting to check on import as animation. I always do that, so if you forget to do that, don't be like, oh no, I'm so forgetful. I'm sure a lot of people do it too, because I've certainly done it. Now we're gonna click on head transparent color, and we're not gonna do anything here. In fact, if we try doing it, it's gonna get rid of whatever color we pick. So yeah, just make sure you don't try and drop it. Like see here, well, I probably won't do it, but like, for example, if we clicked on black, then all the black color would be yellow, and we wouldn't want that. It would work in a situation where like it's the background's completely black, which, you know what, there. I'm actually surprised none of that text went away. And actually, I can kind of read that text. But it, them, probably won't be. Yeah, I don't know what that says, but anyways, that's not important. So we're gonna go down. We're gonna drag this along here. Click on change the position. For a 1280 by 720 aspect, if you have a full frame, like it'll cover the whole frame, it's always gonna be 640 by 360. I feel like I should just bring that up there. I'll just rename this newspaper. And now there's only gonna be, well, there's gonna be a couple things here. There's gonna be the timer. After we reach a certain time, it's gonna transition to the night. So we're gonna click on the timer. Click on is a timer equal to a certain value. This can be, I probably will just do this as like, say 5 seconds, not very long, and then we'll jump to the frame night transition, pretty much. But we're gonna do a couple things. You probably know that if you click on the newspaper, it takes you directly to it. At least I think it does. And if it doesn't, I'll add that in. Again, you can do this. You don't have to do this. You can choose to do this part if you want. Basically, we're gonna click on the mouse, user clicks, like that, and then we're gonna do the exact same thing there. And then one more thing, we're gonna click on the keyboard. Upon pressing a key, enter. And again, you can do literally whatever you want. And I actually is there a condition for just upon pressing any key? Okay, well, but whatever. And that's all for the newspaper. It's literally just there for introduction. And finally, night transition. In the night transition, this one is kind of interesting. There are a couple things that we need to do here. So, first of all, insert our first active object. Boom. You know what to do by now. Click on this. This is going to be the night text, so the night loading screens. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we have all the nights here. And again, I'll have a dump of all of the night files in the description if you guys want access to those. But anyways, we're gonna click on transparent color, get rid of this, boom, and of course we're gonna add in multiple animations. So this is gonna get a bit repetitive, but you all probably know what to do at this point. Simply get a new sprite and do the exact same thing for every animation. I know it's repetitive, but it's just the way that you have to do it, unfortunately. Anyway, for people wondering, I do have the .mfa file for the first game. That's kind of why I do know some of the stuff that I do know. Especially in terms of like the office and stuff like that. But I'll try to refrain from showing that unless it's absolutely necessary. Like unless I have no other option, or unless like I need to get something that I can only get from there. But again, I could always just download it ahead of time, which I probably will. But yeah, I definitely will not be showing the .mfa file for the first game, or at least I'll try not to, because I actually want to show respect to Scott, but not like completely being like, oh hey, here's the code for the first game, take a look here all you want. It's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so once you add all these in, we're gonna click on OK, and then I'm gonna do a neat little thing again that is cool. So we're gonna click on align and frame, horizontal center, click on align and frame, vertical center, and it's in the center of the frame. And I'm not sure, is that too big? That might be. So we may wanna. Well, anyways, I mean, it's not like I'll be releasing this, and I'll just name this night transition. Alright, and then actually another thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the little camera animation thing, and this is just called a blip. That's literally what I'm calling it. Where would that be? That would probably be. Let's just do this. Okay, so we're gonna improvise animation. Get these two. Then we're gonna select frame 2. Make sure we select the last frame. Then go back to wherever we left off at. Go to here. Make sure we say insert after current frame, so that way it's on there. And then we kind of just do the same until the animation is finished. If your animation's already like aligned and stuff like that, you don't have to worry about this. But these are all weirdly, so I kind of have to, unfortunately. Okay, and now we're gonna do a transparent color for all of these, which, yay, I love doing. Again, you don't have to do this, but this is just to make it look kind of more, I guess, more respectful is the word. I don't know, respectful to the original game. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is pretty much that. And then of course I'll change the speed, because why not? And that's it. So again, I'll change that animation on the position 360. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, I'm literally gonna call that blip. Then after that, we'll go to the event editor once more, and this will be the last thing we're gonna do with this episode. Then we're gonna log off. Then I'll add in, well, I mean, obviously, I said it's gonna be the last thing. It's gonna be the last thing. I'm gonna click on start a frame, and we're gonna go on a noise. Now you may know that there's like a certain noise that plays like once an animation, like once once the night transition starts. Actually no, it'll be here. It'll be in sounds, yeah. I'm gonna go to cameras, and we're gonna click on blip 3. That's pretty much just the sound of what we're gonna do. And I'm actually gonna make sure that doesn't repeat, so I'm gonna check that real quick. So it doesn't. Nice. And you notice that the blip is still there, even though it disappears as soon as it ends. So we're gonna do something that's gonna be completely different that way done before. I'm gonna go on back to animation. Select has an animation finished, and since stopped is the only animation, we're gonna click on that. And then once we do, we're gonna go over to blip, right click, and then go to destroy. Now destroy is something different than visibility. If you're making an object visible and invisible, you're just hiding the view. You're just hiding the actual thing. You're not actually like getting rid of it. But with destroy, you're like destroying it. Like it can't do anything. It doesn't have any functions. And if you want it back again, then you're gonna have to go to this create new objects tab and create a new object. That takes much longer to do, obviously. So, and then one last thing before we move on is we'll go back to frame editor or storyboard editor. We're gonna click on this, go to we're gonna name it clock. This is gonna be the clock that will appear after the night transition plays. Those are separate frames, by the way. Go back to the event editor on night transition, new condition. I know it's like, you know, I'm going kind of faster here. So again, if you need to pause the video, again, don't be afraid to do that. I really do not mind. I'm trying to make this as slow as I can to kind of make it. I've just been doing Clickteam for a long time now. Well, maybe not a long time, but like I've gotten so used to it, I kind of go too quick sometimes, I should say. So anyways, we're gonna click on is the timer equal to certain value. You probably know what that means. We're gonna click on, I'd say about every once it equals 3 seconds. Oh yeah, and this millisecond thing, these are just milliseconds if you want me to be more precise, which I will be doing more precise things as I go along, but obviously, yeah. Anyways, once we reach 3 seconds, we're gonna go back to storyboard controls, jump to frame once more. You know what to do. Go to clock, and finally save. And so we're gonna go over to here, and yeah, and again, it's not changing because we're only playing the single frame. Remember, this is playing the whole application, this is playing the frame. And actually, let's take a look at the whole application, shall we? And again, I'll add in more effects since there's more like static effects, different options, more sound, stuff like that. I think I even implemented like a version where like you could boop Freddy's nose on the menu, which I may add in. We can do this stuff if we go here. Yeah, see, the thing is that I'm pretty sure with the music, I think Scott did a music file for that. You can see does the night transition and goes to the clock, and we're gonna close out of that because, you know, we don't really need to do that. So yeah, that is part 2 of Five Nights at Freddy's. Next episode, we will begin to do some more of the stuff. We'll do the clock first of all, and then we'll begin to do the office, which is the most exciting part because that's where all the good stuff happens. Well, I mean, take that line out of context, huh? Well, now that I say that, people are probably going to start taking the line out of context. Regardless, thank you all so much for watching this episode. I hope this helped you all, and as always, I will see you all in the next episode. Goodbye, and I'll see you all tomorrow.